The college football experience, LSU Tigers 2025 season preview episode on a Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with the promo code, our promo code, TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Jim Mora, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Go Tigers edition. Oh, boy. What a fun team to talk about. YouTube.com/the college experience as we are breaking down all 136 college football teams with the solo podcast for each and every team in the land. Subscribe, tell a friend. And this is our Go Tigers edition. Big year in Baton Rouge, I think, upon us. Excited to talk about it. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swing and Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Sounds like a lot of people in Baton Rouge, right? Love Baton Rouge, by the way. Absolutely love Baton Rouge. If you haven't been to a game, we're going to talk about Tiger Stadium and the LSU experience soon. Soon on this episode. But yeah, they do college football right there. Big year though. Lot of hype coming into this season. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the college basketball experience. When the season goes live over there, make sure you tune in. We'll be there every single night, just like we are here for football. So check that out. But give it up for Farmer Staffer at Austin P with the Governors, at South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and at West Virginia with the Mountaineers. Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, buddy?
What is up, man? Yes, talking about LSU. Love the Tigers. Let's talk about his family. Let's go.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
We can certainly do that.
Thank you. Well, this is a great way to get started, and I haven't even won all my games yet. It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family, and we are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana, but more importantly,
just the great fake Southern accent. Man, Brian Kelly was a strange hire from the start, but the guy is 29-11. So when he says he hasn't won all of his games yet, he's done all right. But the problem is at LSU, 29-11 ain't cutting it. I think it's a big season for Brian Kelly. And I'm not going to say without I do think there's a scenario here if he wins 8 games or something that he's fired. I do think that is a scenario on the table here. Where are you at with Coach Kelly, who I think is a really good football coach? Obviously, Grand Valley State and CMU and Cincinnati, and was the guy to get Notre Dame back going to a certain extent. But where are you at with Coach?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good coach. To your point, he's won what? He's 29-11 at LSU. He's won almost 300 games altogether. But this is LSU. The standard is very, very high. The coaches before him all won a natty in their first 4 years. Coach O, Nick Saban, Les Miles. So a lot of expectations here headed into year 4. They unloaded in the portal. His roster's loaded. They need to take the next step, and they need to get to the college football playoff.
100% here. I'm sorry, we're getting some stuff in the chat right now that says we are not live on YouTube for some reason. So I am kind of trying to balance that on what essentially happened. But yeah, we are perhaps having technical difficulty. I apologize, but I don't know. It's tough to do. It's tough to look at this live and say what's going on here. But for some reason, we are getting some reports that it is.
It says it in the stream. I don't know what's going on. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's working now. Yeah, YouTube had some technical difficulties, not us.
Okay, because I was wondering what the heck was going on there. But yeah, as far as Coach Kelly, I mean, look, put up or shut up. What do you think that threshold is, by the way, on him? Like, is 8 wins? He's back next year.
I don't think
9 wins. What's that? What's 9? He's back. What do you think that threshold is, man?
I think he's got to make the playoff. I kind of think if he misses the playoffs, they're going to move on. I mean, I know Coach O had shit going on off the field, but they fired Coach O 2 years after winning a natty, and they fired Les Miles after good year after good year after good year, and he won a national championship. So why would they give him more of the benefit of the doubt when they got rid of guys that won national championships here? I think there's no reason LSU shouldn't be in the college football playoff with where they are, their tradition, their home field, and just the athletes on this roster.
Yeah, I think a lot of people watched the Redskins last year and saw Jaden Daniels and be like, wait, what? How do we not do more? Even though he put up phenomenal numbers.
Defense.
Yeah, I mean, that's the shocking thing is, I mean, we'll get to defense. Like, you're at LSU. You're the only Power 4 school, Power 5, whatever number you want to use, in the state of Louisiana, which I agree with. Patty C had a thing saying that's why they're so great. They don't have, there's not another school in the P4 that is right there. You know, they don't have to battle Alabama has to battle Auburn, or, all these other schools have. Florida's got to battle Florida State and Miami. You are there with a shit ton of talent, and you also touch, Texas. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's on him. I mean, the guy's he's a winner as a coach, but you do wonder at these type of stops, when you get to this level, is the system as good? The offense a season ago, and this is another part of this, man. So Joe Sloan and Cortez Hankton, the OCs there, and they were 47th in scoring offense, 7th in the country in pass offense, 107th in rush offense, and 25th in total offense. Mac, something ain't right here, because they had 4 players on the offensive line drafted in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, I understand they might have been better at pass blocking, but that's still inexcusable in my opinion to say that because they have to be decent enough at run blocking, because the NFL wouldn't draft you then. So I refuse to believe that they were just the best pass blocking offensive line and just couldn't block running the ball. I just completely disagree with that narrative. And I don't understand how they were that bad. That's got to be solely on Kelly, and I think that's pretty pathetic from a number standpoint at LSU. At LSU, you should always be, to me, like, even the scoring offense, I think. Like, you should always be top 50 in all these things, but specifically rush offense. I'm dumbfounded at them being a 107th. What do you make of these numbers?
And I'm doing a deep dive right now because you got me thinking before the show. This is the first time since 2012 that they didn't have take out the COVID year because it was a short season, that they didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher. I mean, whether it was Jeremy Hill, Leonard Fournette, Darius Geis, the guy on the Kansas City Chiefs, Hilaire. I mean, they have had dude after dude at LSU, and you're absolutely right that there's no excuse that they should be outside of the top 100 at LSU running the football. I don't care how good Nussmeier is or how good your quarterback is. You still got to be able to run the ball.
I mean, Caden Durham's a good running back. I don't think this was a talent thing. I think it was a lack of commitment, which made you more predictable, which I think made your team worse, in my opinion. Let's look at the offense because Garrett Nussmeier's back, obviously the son of Doug Nussmeier, and he is really good.
Yeah,
I think there's value in a Heisman play here. I know we've given out. I don't do a Heisman episode because, it's like kind of a TMZ thing. Whatever, but I think like we gave out Raiola as one that I think is a decent long shot. Nussmeier is kind of one of the favorites, but I still think there's value in it. 40 touchdowns, 19 interceptions in his college career there in Baton Rouge. Obviously comes from NFL pedigree. And I expect him to put up big numbers again. The running back, like I just touched to as a freshman, Caden Durham, 753 yards, 8 touchdowns. He is good. When I watch him play, I'm like, he's good. 4 offensive linemen in the NFL. Give him the fucking ball a little bit more. They returned just 4 starters on offense with Nussmeier, Durham, Aaron Anderson, and center DJ Chester. They went to the portal, and that's another thing, man. A couple of years ago, he really whiffed in the portal. More so defensively than offensively, but they went out. I do like the Michael Van Buren get the quarterback spot for Mississippi State. He flashed in limited time there in Starkville, but he's going to be a backup. Nick Anderson, wide receiver from Oklahoma. Barion Brown, a wide receiver from Kentucky. Destin Hill from Florida State. Bauer Sharp, a tight end from Oklahoma. Donovan Green, a tight end from A&M. And a couple offensive linemen from Northwestern and Virginia Tech, as well as a Middle Tennessee State punter. The question is, can you quickly patch this offensive line? LSU, I never believed the offensive line is going to be that bad, but obviously it was really good last year. Can it, is there going to be a drop off, which I would suspect, and what does that potentially do to your season? Because if your O-line's not as good as it was a season ago, do you think offensively these numbers will be better than 25th in the nation in offense? And you would like to think it'd be better than 107th rushing.
I do. I think they will take a step. And the main thing is I just think Nussmeier, if he's not the best quarterback in the country, he's in the discussion. So another year in the system. We saw Jaden Daniels take that jump from year 1 to year 2 at LSU. We saw Joe Burrow take the huge jump from year 1 to year 2. Nussmeier probably had a better year than both of them in his first year. So I think he's going to take a big jump. I know he's got but that offensive line does have to mesh, keep him upright. But I'm with you. They got to be able to run the ball. It is nice that he does have his leading pass catcher, Anderson, back. But I think they will, and I think there'll be more balance.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the odds drop some for Nussmeier to win the Heisman. So, yeah. Shout out to Big Bird. 7-1 isn't great value. That time may have
a great name.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Bird. Let's talk about, because I expect the offense, I think they're going to be better as an entire unit despite losing 5 guys on the offensive line or 4 guys. I'm sorry, on the offensive line. I think they hired a new run game coordinator. They got to be better than 107th, but you can make a case the schedule might be harder than last year's. Overall, I think they'll be better as an offense, better than 25th. I don't know about better than 7th passing. But overall, more balance, I'll say. The defensive side of the ball, we're going to get to here. But before we do that, I want to let you know you are listening to the College Football Experience. Go Tigers edition. We are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You can listen to every episode we do as far as all of our shows: college baseball experience, college basketball experience, college football experience, NASCAR Gambling Podcast, Sports Gambling Podcast, Bottom Line Bombs Podcast, the notorious OTB for your horse racing junkies out there, and all the other stuff we have. CFL Gambling Podcast. I mean, we have everything. All of that comes out on one feed, the SGPN feed. Type that wherever you get your podcasts. Click subscribe. and let it ride. We're also brought to you by Circa Millions and Circus Survivor. Think you know ball that you have to enter Circus Football Contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Yes, there is no rake, so if entries go above the guarantee, all the extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Millions, you pick 5 NFL teams against the spread each week, or go for the ultimate sweat in the Circus Survivor there. There's also the Circa Grandissimo for $100K. If the mail is too much for you, that's another Survivor contest. You must register in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, Las Vegas. But come on, it's incredible. I'll be there in a couple days. Great excuse to book a trip to Las Vegas. They got Stadium Swim, the biggest sports book in the world. I mean, what are you doing? Sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use the promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees today. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport. I know right now it's the dog days of summer, but MLB, CFL, tennis, golf, WNBA, all available. And don't forget about college football and NFL futures. So MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to mybookie.ag. But when you do use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. And we're talking defense. And this is where it's just, once again, unacceptable.
And that's improvement, by the way, from the previous year.
Yeah, scoring defense, 59th in the nation. Pass defense, 76th. Rush defense, 51st. Total defense at 61st. To me, like, LSU fans, as much as, like, I know he still won a decent amount of games there, 9 games, even though that South Carolina game was a bunch of bullshit on that pick 6 that they called that crackback block nonsense. But you got it. South Carolina, I mean, I'm sorry, LSU fans should demand a top 50 defense, I feel like, every year. I know you play a bunch of good teams that have good offenses, but you're LSU. You're LSU. For every one of those great teams you play on offense, you play like, this year, what? You got Southeast Louisiana, Louisiana Tech, and Western Kentucky. So those 3 teams probably not going to score a lot of points on you. So it kind of negates that. So it kind of, you should be better than than 61st, in my opinion. Blake Baker is a guy that I think is a good DC too. So we'll see if he can make another step forward. One of the things I think that has been mind-numbing is how Harold Perkins has been used after his first his monster freshman season. You know, this is a guy that has 13 sacks, 2 interceptions in his career, and it seems like under the Kelly regime, they just haven't been able to find how to get this guy really going. It reminds me, I'm going to date myself here, but it reminds me, LeVar Arrington played for the Washington Redskins in the early 2000s.
Penn State.
Yeah, and he was just an athletic freak, probably even more so than Harold Perkins. But the Redskins were going through his early Snyder years. It was like a different coach almost every year. So I want to say it was Spurrier that they drafted. It was Norv Turner or Spurrier. They didn't know how to use him. And then they had Schottenheimer for 1 year. Marty Schottenheimer, may you rest in peace. And Marty Schottenheimer knew exactly how to use him. And he put up great numbers that year. And then they fired Schottenheimer because they got in like a standoff with Schneider or some shit. Right after 1 year. And then I really feel like they kind of wasted LeVar Arrington's talent. Because they were trying to think too much. Just let the guy be him. And I feel like LSU needs to do that. Just let him play football. Don't have him, just let him be the athletic freak. Don't have the guy, playing mental games, trying to figure out, it just, and I think that's what they've done the past couple of years. They moved him out of his true position where he really flourished. There's speculation they're going to let him do that again. I saw Brian Kelly talk about this, but I need to see it. And I was kind of, I think Brian Kelly's a good football coach, but I was kind of baffled that they did this with him. I kind of baffled that they haven't handled that correctly. And this is a guy that I kind of think has proven that he knows football throughout his career. He is back. They only bring 3 starters back from the season ago. Linebacker Harold Perkins, I alluded to. Whit Weeks at the linebacker spot, and cornerback Ashton Stamps. Kicker Damian Ramos is back as well. They hit the portal super aggressively here. I would say more than most teams. I would say bringing in Patrick Payton on the defensive end from Florida State, Jack Pyburn from Florida, Jamari Butler from Nebraska, Sydir Mitchell from Texas, Bernard Gooden from South Florida, all on the D line. They seem solid at linebacker. They go for the secondary, bringing in Mansur Delane from Virginia Tech, Jakeem Jackson from Florida, Tamarcus Cooley from the Pussy Pack of NC State, and AJ Halsey from Houston, where he balled out. Now here's the thing, dude. A couple of years ago, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I can't remember. I feel like it was the year before, or maybe when they got like Deuce Chestnut from Syracuse. They whiffed in the portal. So they whiffed on the talent evaluation. I felt like defensively they really whiffed on some guys, and they were in the portal the next year. So hopefully they're able to pigeonhole this a little bit better than a couple seasons ago. But Mac, it's not like they have a shit ton of returning starters. But then again, if you're 61st in defense at LSU, maybe you do want new guys coming in. Will they be better than 61st? Because I can tell you this, they do play Clemson's offense, Ole Miss's offense, Diego Pissing Pavia, Alabama, and I don't know if Oklahoma should be touted as a great offense, but there are some high-powered offenses here.
There are, yeah. But I think they're going to take a step back. I mean, they invested heavily in
step back or step forward.
Sorry, step forward. I think they will be improved. They went out and Brian Kelly joked that they don't buy players a couple of years ago. Well, they bought some players this year on the defensive side. Multiple guys that have played at the Power 4 level, contributed, all league guys. So I mean, the 2 safeties from NC State and Houston, I think that they're going to shore up that back end. But I think the big thing, can they be dominant in the trenches like LSU once upon a time was? If they can get back to that, I think this defense will flourish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated to see how this works, and there's no FCS week 1, so we're gonna learn right away. Yeah, I think the defense will take a step forward too. What's crazy. I actually think this year's team, despite losing 4 offensive linemen in the NFL draft, I think the team's a little bit better this year. I guess the real question is, can you make it all come together though? Because football is a game that, as much as you can go out and get a bunch of transfer guys, you still need some continuity. You need to come together as a team. Well, okay, we're going to talk state of the program with Brian Kelly, potentially on the hot seat this year. But part of state of the program, besides roster and transfer portal and OCs and DCs and run game coordinators, is the stadium. And I was a guest of LSU a few years back, but I had already had my mind made up before that shit. But obviously, getting field passes and going to a game, a night game, and just, this is, to me, you don't get much better than, you can argue this as like the best stadium in the world as far as I'm concerned. Like this is it's just everything that is college football. And once again, Mac, you're going to hear me. We've been breaking down all these teams. We rate every stadium. And one of my things that I say, football and the NFL has lost touch with this, is your stadium's a castle. You don't let someone come into your fucking stadium and take down your castle. LSU gets that. All right. Because this shit looks like a castle. Look at that shit, dude. YouTube.com/the college experience. Jump on over there. This thing this is just
a beauty.
It is why college, a big reason why college football is untouchable to me. Like, it's the greatest sport on planet Earth. Look at this fucking stadium, man. Look at this thing, man. Look at this stadium, man. Like, that's just incredible. Absolutely incredible what Tiger Stadium. If you have not been, I don't care where you live. You could be living in Thailand for the summer, like Cliff Kingsbury, right? You want to come back and go to LSU Tiger Stadium, all right? Don't waste your time on some NFL shit. Go to a game like this. Look at that crowd. You will have the time of your life. It is everything that is right about college football, and the stadium is unbelievable. Once again, it's over 100 years old. That's what I love, Mac, too. Jaden Daniels playing on the same damn field Y.A. Tittle was throwing fucking touchdown passes. This is why. Look at this. Look at this. You see how they make it? See, that's why I shit on Soldier Field with their Soldier Field got rid of their columns. They got rid of their personality. LSU still has, like, they play, if anything, they invest into their stadium, which all these NFL teams should be doing. But instead, hey, every 20 years, you scumbags, these scumbag mayors are pushing for a stadium, and these scumbag owners are saying, we need a new stadium. No, you don't. This thing is bigger than any NFL stadium and better than any fucking NFL stadium. And it's over 100 years old because they throw their money into it. Do not believe the lies that are out there. I mean, this thing is it's just incredible. You got to get to a game. This shit, it's different. It's different than anything else. What do you give this thing 1 to 10, dude? Because this thing is phenomenal. Yeah.
To 11. And obviously when they get a night game there, that thing goes to another fucking level. And this is just the stadium, the tailgating scene, and just the environment at this. It's
incredible.
It's incredible. And they came to Morgantown one year, back in, I think, 2012. We did a home and home, West Virginia and LSU. So that was two fan bases that have a lot of similarities. They get after it, dude. They go hard. They care about their Tigers, and they have a good time at LSU. It's everybody's got to go to a game there.
Yeah, and check out. If you see, I'm a nerd. Keanu knows I'm a fucking huge stadium nerd and everything, just college football nerd. They never have changed the goalpost, dude. They have the retro goalpost.
I know.
The H goalpost. I think only 2 schools left in America still have that shit. I'm trying to think of, I think it might be Yale. I think there's only two or three schools that still have that shit. They still have it, dude. It's perfect. It's perfect, man. This thing is incredible. I went to a night game, man, and I'm telling you, the only problem with being a guest of the university is you can't get too shit hammered because you're on the field. That was I've been to a couple games, but there was a time where I did tailgate for like 12 hours, and I looked like that Nick Nolte mugshot by the time I entered the stadium. Just like I'd gone through the washing machine. Yeah. Just what's going on? Are we watching football?
Look at that thing.
I mean, dude, this is just it. To me, you could argue this is best stadium in America, and I think it probably it deserves to be right there at the top. Just an unbelievable. You get the band. I mean, that's another element to that shit.
In the march, the walk when Coach was going crazy.
When he's like high five and shit, he's going, we're gonna get him, man.
Go Joe, baby. Good
time. Yeah, that's all part of what's college football. Dude, the NFL, the NFL was modeled after college football because college football was, way before the NFL, 60 years before the NFL or whatever. And the NFL teams used to have a band. Actually, the Redskins were the last team to have a band, but even Snyder got rid of that. But that's an element all missing, man. It's part of the soul. It should be football every team should have a fucking band. Phenomenal stuff. Look at they got the fucking Tiger. You got the Tiger going. You're talking about the walk. I mean,
did they have a live Tiger one year?
They did for a while. Like in the 90s, I remember that shit. Like you're cutting a commercial and there'd be a Tiger sitting on the side. They needed to bring that back.
I love the SEC.
Come on, dude.
Only the SEC could do some shit like that.
Well, I mean, it went away though. It went away. Because I was like, what? Colorado's got the Buffalo. But having a Tiger is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal there.
The opposing teams are like, I ain't fucking with that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, just a ton of great stuff here if you haven't been to Tiger Stadium, You need to. I just highly recommend it. It's one of the best. It to me. It's. I'll put it up there with anyone in the nation. Like you can make that argument as the best stadium within the nation. So, yeah, get out to a game. That's a statue right there of Billy Cannon, I believe. I don't recall ever seeing that, but I know it's there. That's what it used to look like, dude. That's what I'm saying, man. Shit's come a long way. So, man, look at that shit at night, dude. Like this shit looks like you're in Star Wars or something, dude. You know what I mean? Like what the hell? Tron. Yeah, 10 of 10. I put a lot of these photos on here. We could just stare at them all day, man.
Dude, when's their first night game? Oh,
that's a good question.
The Gators go there week 3, 7:30 prime.
I love that game too, man.
It's always
that's one of my favorite. Like everyone like I think if people power rank with the new SEC, like what is the top rivalries? And look, I love the Iron Bowl. I mean, the Red River Shootout is probably my favorite personally, but under the radar, Egg Bowl is up there too. But under the radar, like LSU Florida has given us so many fucking classics.
Yeah.
Look at that. Storm the field. And look, if you're listening to this, you're an LSU fan, you're going to the games, storm the fucking field. Don't let Greg Sankey's bitch ass tell you otherwise. All right. You pay ridiculous tuition probably, or you did at one point in your life. You have earned the right to storm the field. So if you win, and look, the best part about LSU fans, they know this. I don't even need to say this, right? LSU fans will storm because the alcohol, the drinks are flowing.
Oh yeah.
And they know it. But yeah, I mean, unbelievable. Get yourself out to a game. Just phenomenal. It's like looking at fucking the Roman Coliseum or something. Yeah. So state of the program. It's interesting because you would think 10 of 10, but I do think Brian Kelly has a thing where you've seen Notre Dame get better without him. And you've seen LSU kind of not live up to the potential thus far, even though I know he got to an SEC championship in year 1. I don't think I can give it 10 of 10 because the Brian Kelly situation, but I obviously at LSU, it's like hard to get below like what, a 7.
Yeah.
What are you giving this thing? The state of the program right now?
I gave it an 8 just because, I mean, the coach is on the hot seat. It's not, I don't know if they have the right guy leading LSU. Now that could change obviously with the special season quickly. They've invested a shitload into this team. But they need to start winning some of these bigger games in November. The way it finished last year, I got to give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. And, we'll talk schedule right now, but before we do that, I want to let you know that the LSU Tigers season preview episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million for first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football, folks. So sign up over at Underdog Fantasy. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. You probably heard me talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a new game-changing feature, though, called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a very high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. And let me tell you, these MLB Power Trends are kicking ass. 254 and 147 this season, a win rate of 63% and an ROI of 4.5% in their last 400 bets. Get on over there, download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Also, claim your free 7-day trial period today, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back talking LSU football. The new season is upon us, and boy, do they give us a fucking game to open the season with. I'm just going to go ahead and state this. I think this is a bigger game for both these teams than Ohio State Texas game. Like Ohio State Texas, obviously big time matchup, but like I feel like the teams will be fine. Like they're probably going to be in the playoffs regardless, right? Or you're knocking on the door.
Yep.
This one is one where you can actually paint a path for both teams. With a loss after week 1, you're like, ugh, I don't know. And Brian Kelly has had a knack for losing these opening day games, man. I don't know what you saw. Remember, he went off on the media or his team last year in the post game presser against after the USC lost. He's like, they don't get it. I don't know what it is. They don't get it. Clemson hired Tom Allen, which I really like that hire on the defensive coordinating spot. They returned Garrett Riley, the OC, and then Cade, you can find me in the club, Nick, is back at quarterback. So you have 2 quarterbacks that could just light it up. I have to favor the home team. But I am fascinated by this game, mainly because Brian Kelly, his teams have started slow. And that even goes back to Notre Dame. Go to that Florida State game that I remember. But I don't have a ton of strong conviction on this play, but I have to say, if I were making the line, and I'm just assuming the line is 3 right now.
Yeah, it's 2.5. It's bumped between 2.5 and 3.
I have to give LSU that loss. Series goes back to the 1950s. What are you doing here?
I'm torn on this game. Like you said, this is the big monkey on the back game for Brian Kelly. He's 0-3 in his openers at LSU, 0-2 against Florida State, and then the USC game last year. You know, Clemson's getting a lot of hype. They were 0-2 against the SEC last year, and they won a ton of close games. I think LSU's better. I think LSU's actually going to go into the other Death Valley and finally win a week 1 game. So give me a dub for the LSU Tigers. Let's go.
See, Clemson was 0-2, but they weren't playing home games against SEC teams. Oh, no, didn't they?
They played
South Carolina, right? South Carolina was. So they were 0-3 because they lost to Texas in the playoffs. Yeah.
I think Clemson's a little overrated. I think they're good, but I think LSU. This is a statement game for LSU. If they start 0-1, man, it's going to feel a lot like the same from the previous years. I think.
I just feel like it's a tall order, man.
It's tough. Like, they got the experience though with Nussmeier. It's not like it's a first time quarterback like Arch going on the road.
I'm with you, but I also think like you're giving Klubnik another year in Garrett Riley's offense, which I think it clicked to the second half of the season. And to me, my problems with Clemson were defensively and bringing in Tom Allen. Mm-hmm. I'm a believer that Penn State had a top 10 defense a year ago. I thought he did a really good job with Indiana as a head coach. Obviously Kalen DeBoer was his OC and that was his hire. I tend to think, I just feel like if I got to take the home team. If this was in Baton Rouge, I would take LSU. But I can't wait to watch this game, dude. Yeah. I cannot wait to watch this game. So we split there. Okay, week 2. Sonny Cumbie and La Tech in a series that goes back 124 years come into Baton Rouge. Yeah, they lost Jeremiah Johnson, their DC, and it's going to show in this game specifically. I have them 1-1 they're going to drop. I'm going to say the higher or lower on the team win or point prop will be 55.5. What are you doing here?
Is this a Nussmeier Heisman pad the sack game?
100%.
Oh, and Jeremiah Johnson's not the DC there anymore. LSU's going to rail them. 2-0.
2-0. Then them Florida Gators are coming to town. Billy Napier survived last season. The only problem is this year's schedule, I feel like, is harder than last year's because, Florida State was terrible last year. So some of the teams we thought, Kentucky and Florida State and stuff, terrible. Series goes back to 1937. It's one of my favorite games to watch each year. I'm on LSU. They're at home. So 2-1 for me. What are you doing here?
3-0. I know Florida finished strong, but the schedule actually ended up being a little softer. I don't think they have enough to win in Baton Rouge at nighttime, prime time.
Yeah, it's all over. It's all over there. Lagway's. I know Lagway's a stud, but I'm just saying, go on the road to Tiger Stadium. Come on.
Yeah.
Then they get Sela, whatever it is. Okay. They're gonna load these numbers up on poor Southeast Louisiana, but you're gonna get a big paycheck. And I've been down to the Strawberry Stadium in Hammond, Louisiana. It's a great place. But so you can add into that. Yeah, 3-1 for me. I'm assuming you're 4-0.
Yeah, I love how they put this at 8:00 too. They even like their bye games, they make sure it's in prime time. Poor Seedless is gonna get housed.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing though in the chat. If they lose to Clemson week 1 and lose to Florida week 3,
that
Orange Chicken saying Kelly gets fired if that happens. That's what's crazy. And then your season's really fucked because like nowadays with the players paid and stuff, they're going to be thinking about the portal. I think this is the hardest era when a team loses its coach or whatever, you fire your coach, like the quit that happens on these teams is unbelievable. I feel like here's the thing though, Brian Kelly strikes me as kind of an asshole coach to play for. So maybe it would be the opposite effect. Maybe the players would all come, be like, hey, I don't know. I mean, historically, that's the thing. Yeah. There you go. So you got him 4-0. I got him 3-1, and then the Magnolia Bowl. All right, heading to Oxford, Mississippi. Series goes back to 1894. They stormed the field last time LSU was in Oxford. Remember that? The security guard checked that girl.
That game was on crack.
That game was insane. Last year's game was fucking insane. LSU kind of shouldn't have won that, but they did. I'm on LSU though. Although I will say this, they got Georgia in Oxford last year. They got LSU the year before. They're starting to get to that level where they can upset a team, like a really high ranked team each and every year. But I will take LSU to go on the road. Ole Miss lost a lot last year. 4-1. What are you doing here?
If I'm going to give him the Clemson one, I'm going to give him a loss here. I think they get tripped up at one of those road games. So Ole Miss. But I mean, like you said, man, this game will be a classic. They have played some classics the last 2 years. I think we'll get another one. I think Ole Miss, they're young, but I think they'll start playing better at this point in the year. So give me Ole Miss.
Wow. So we're at the same record now. 4-1 after 5. They get a bye week. Like you got Y.A. Tittle, you got Rohan Davey. Remember him?
Yep.
You come out of the bye week and Shane Beamer and them South Carolina Gamecocks are coming to Baton Rouge in a series that goes back 95 years. Win for LSU. I'm not very high on South Carolina this year. So give me 5-1. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I would imagine this will also probably be a night game too. So yeah, give me LSU at home against a South Carolina team that I don't think is on the same level as LSU. Then the very next week, you head to Nashville. I didn't know Brian Kelly wanted to get pissed on. This is a tough game with the upcoming schedule after this. I mean, they're taking on my boy Diego Pissing Pavia. I don't know many other podcasts that locked up the Vanderbilt over last year and also took Vanderbilt money line against Virginia Tech week 1 as a double-digit dog. And I did lock up them with the points against Alabama, and I said sprinkle the money line, even though I didn't actually play the money line. But you're still bitter about that. I still want to tout that. Like I said, sprinkle the money line. They're going to give him a game. But I didn't do that. But I mean, it is a tricky game. I think Tim Beck and Jerry Kill and Diego Pavia, I think Vanderbilt will be a bowl team again this year. But the problem is, I always wonder, like they did storm the field, took a goalpost down at the Tennessee River. Amen. Shout out to Vandy. But LSU fans travel well, so I do wonder what will the ratio be on this. Give me LSU to win this. Although sorry Tiger fans, I'll be rooting for my boy Diego Pissing Pavia. So, what are you doing here, Mac?
Look, I'm worried about this game for LSU because Vandy's off a bye too, so they got that extra week of rest here. But I will take LSU just because of pure talent. But I think this is one they squeak by. They kind of like
a 7-point game a year ago in Baton Rouge.
Exactly. I think that it's like the Texas game at Vandy this year. I think the LSU gets out of there, but Vandy gives them everything they can handle. Take the points.
I will take the points for sure. I've been staring at the Vandy schedule, wondering who they're going to get somebody this year. Cause I feel like the team is talented enough They're gonna upset somebody.
And they have
What's that?
And they have Pavia.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And that's a hard offense to prepare for because no one else in the SEC runs that. They're running basically the triple option out of the gun with Eli Stowe, and they have Eli Stowers at tight end, who's a fucking beast. No other team in that conference has that offense. So it's when you get ready for that game, it's hard to mimic that. A&M at LSU. This one is so damn pivotal to me, to LSU seasons and playoff hopes, in my opinion. I'm on LSU. A&M got them a year ago. That game was crazy last year. Do you remember that game?
LSU was in control, and then Marcel Reed went off.
Yeah. That was like quarterback power 1,000 times. Yeah. I'll take LSU to get revenge, but I mean, this is a game I'm fascinated by seeing. If LSU is not where they need to be on the line of scrimmage, they could certainly lose this game. But I'll take the Tigers to get this one. I still have my one loss, man. What are we at Halloween?
Yeah. They point blank, LSU got their ass whipped in the trenches last year against A&M. A&M ran for over 200 yards on 50 carries. They didn't throw the ball the entire game, basically. So I think LSU pride game, they get their revenge. What do we have? 6-1.
6-1. They get the bye week. Some of the LSU greats, Dalton Hilliard and Javi Williams. They come out of that and they head to Bryant-Denny Stadium, where the Alabama and Caleb DeBoer just completely shit on them a season ago. Series goes back 30 years they've been playing each other.
This game's awesome.
It is awesome. Although not last year.
Yeah, last year was a beat.
Actually, there was a blowout one too. The year after the Natty, like Saban put it on Orgeron. There has been a couple of blowouts lately, but historically it's been a great game, great rivalry. And I'm taking Alabama to get this done. I know there's revenge for Brian Kelly, but I just think Alabama is, to me, I think they're gonna be much better this year. And then I like the fact that it's at home. So this is my second loss for LSU this season. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, LSU rarely ever wins in Tuscaloosa outside of the Burrow year. I can't remember them ever really winning there. I know Saban was at the top of the sport, but I think Bama's going to be really good again this year, and I think they're going to be tough at home. I'll give them a loss, and what does that put us at? 7-2?
7-2. Then battle the Golden Boot, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Arkansas has fucked over a couple LSU seasons. I think I remember just that McFadden Wildcat game. Series goes back to 1901. I don't even know if Sam Pittman will be playing here or be coaching here. But if it's Road Rash Face, aka Bobby Petrino, could still give him problems. But I will take LSU to get Arkansas here in Baton Rouge. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Arkansas is coming off the bye, so this could be where Pittman gets fired and Petrino's comes in and coaches the team. He spoiled that one LSU season with McFadden. He was the coach.
I think I might have been Houston Nutt because they were running it because Petrino's like a pass happy guy, dude. It might, I don't know. I'd have to do a deep dive. I'm sure maybe he ruined it one year too. They had Ryan Mallett at quarterback.
Yeah,
but
Mallett, yeah.
I think it was Houston Nutt that had McFadden and Felix Jones.
And
but
Peyton Hillis.
Oh, dude, that was so fun.
I'm going to LSU. They're not losing it to them at home here.
Yeah. And then after that, Blob is coming to town. Western Kentucky, these tops. Win.
Yeah, hey, at least credit to LSU for not playing the FCS game here.
Amen.
At least the tops are a little bit of a team.
Oh, they're like a bowl team every year.
Yeah.
So,
this isn't a slapdick team, but yeah, they're going to kill Western Kentucky.
Yeah, and then comes the final game of the season, and this is what's so interesting about this schedule. LSU heads to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. Oh, man. I have a really hard time with this one. This is a great schedule, by the way. I mean, like, as far as, like, it could align perfectly. Yeah, the Monty's with me. LSU is a fun schedule. So here's how this is why it's so hard to do our job these days. Not only because of the portal and NIL and everything, I don't know if Venables is coaching this game.
Yeah.
Just like Pittman, I don't know if he's coaching the Arkansas game. I think at Oklahoma, you saw them ruin Alabama's season last year. I still believe no matter who coaches Oklahoma at Oklahoma Memorial Stadium is a very, very hard place to win. So I will take Oklahoma to win this game, but I could totally see, like, I need to know, like, it's very hard to project if you don't know, like, if. Here's my logic. Oklahoma's athletic director just stepped down. I don't think they're going to hire an athletic director and a coach this will be his last season. When I say he stepped down, he's not stepping down yet. He's stepping down at the end of the calendar year. So I believe that's a nice thing for Brent Venables because I think it's going to buy him one more year regardless.
Yeah.
And having Venables coach this game, I do think they could upset LSU. If it's not Venables, it's an interim, and everyone's thinking about hitting the portal, then I worry because I think LSU would win by double digits. But I'm taking Oklahoma to win this game. I got LSU 9-3. What are you doing here?
So to paint the picture scenario here, if they're 9-2, this is for the playoff.
This is Alabama again, dude.
Yeah. Give me LSU by a field goal. They finish it off 10-2.
Well, here's the thing, though. For me, it would not be for the playoffs because one of those losses is in the non-con, so they still might be going to the SEC championship. They might not even. That's another side of this. LSU might not even need to win this game.
Yeah, true. If they could get in with 2 losses. How many Georgia had 2 losses last year? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It makes it incredibly hard for us and that's another thing, the playoff development. But like if LSU's one of their losses is to Clemson, and the other losses say Bama, they might be soundly in regardless of this game. They might not even play Nussmeier.
I don't think that they would chance losing a third game though. A lot of it has to do with the.
But what do you mean though? If they won the SEC championship game, then they would get one of the higher seeds in the whole playoffs. So
yeah,
it kind of would.
I'm saying if they lost this game and they backed into the SEC title game still and then lost the SEC championship, they probably would be out then.
I don't know. You're going to keep the team that finished in second place in the SEC out?
I mean, they'd be 9-4 in that scenario.
Still, they got to the championship game. I feel like didn't the playoff committee say this last season that they wanted to honor the championship game? That's why they, Penn State and Oregon, okay, and the others, they had to honor that. I don't know, but it's fascinating to think about. But so you got them 10-2?
I got them 10-2. I think they have the magical year. The year after the year. They were supposed to go 10-2 last year. They did not.
Well, here's the thing. You might want to lock this up, but I'm on the over too. I got them at 9-3. They're plus 1,700 to win the Natty. They're plus 750 to win the SEC. They're plus 140 to make the CFP. What's the best bet on the board there? The win total or the plus 750 to win the SEC? Because to me, with the Clemson game being one of their scarier games, I kind of like the SEC play over the win total.
The only issue with the SEC play, do we trust Brian Kelly to win the big game in the Georgia Dome?
Well, and he'll probably be playing Georgia.
Or Alabama.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Yeah. I'd rather just take the win total. I like the playoff though, plus 140.
Yeah, shout out to Dilly Daggers going to that Oklahoma game.
I think they're worth a sprinkle on the national championship too. If Nussmeier takes the jump that Burrow and Daniels did,
I think that's fair.
And he's the best quarterback in the sport next year, and the defense takes a little bit of a step, then I think they're a national championship contender.
I mean, look at the road spots, though. We need to talk about this because I have every road team a bowl team.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, at Clemson, playoff contender. At Ole Miss, playoff contender. At Vandy, I have them as a bowl team again this year. At Alabama, playoff contender. At Oklahoma, wild card team. But I think worst comes to worst, they'd still be a bowl team. So that's a fucking really challenging schedule, even though I do think within the SEC, it does kind of break nice for them. If that makes sense. There's no back-to-back away. The buys are placed.
Texas.
Yeah, and the buys are kind of nice. There's no Georgia, no Texas, but like you get the buy before the Alabama game. You get I just think it kind of like you get La Tech in between Florida and then SLU before Ole Miss. So it's in a way, like if you value La Tech and SLU as bye weeks, you basically get the month of prep for Clemson, a bye week before Florida, a bye week before Ole Miss, a real bye week before South Carolina. Then, okay, you have that tough stretch of Vandy and A&M, but then you get the bye week before Bama, and basically a bye week before Oklahoma with the tops. So it is a nice schedule in regards to the SEC. To me, it's a challenging schedule, but it's a nice schedule within the conference.
And they should go 7-0 at home. Just looking at the schedule, they'll be favored in all those home games. Yeah, A&M could get them, but LSU will be favored in that game.
Yeah, A&M and Florida, you never know, but
yeah,
I think they should.
But if it's a night game at Tiger Stadium, I mean, they can't lose those games. So if they go 7-0 like we forecast at home, then you got to go 2-3 or 3-2 on the road. 3-2 on the road with those. But I mean, all those road games are losable, to your point. I mean,
literally every single one is, so
Vandy's not a gimme. That's Alabama.
Yeah.
And Texas. It was beat Texas too.
3-point game with Texas. 7-point game at Baton Rouge last year. I mean, they're and that's another year in that system with a 7th-year starting quarterback.
Yeah.
We're both on the over. All right. You locking this?
I'm locking it. Yeah. Brian Kelly and his family back against the wall, baby.
Moneyline Mac, lock it up the over with LSU. That's like fringe lock potential, but there's just enough there where I'll back away right now. I've given out a lot of locks lately, and we got another preview coming up in about 15 minutes. The TCU Horned Frogs. Yes, they are no strangers to playing in the national championship. They were just there a couple years ago. Trying to get back there. We will talk about them. Remember, we're breaking down all 136 college football teams with a solo podcast for each and every team in the land. Make sure you check out the college baseball experience, the college basketball experience, the college football experience. All of those come together as one. YouTube.com/the college experience. Hit that like and subscribe button. We love this stuff. Also, check out the Sports Gambling podcast, and we will be back, like I said, 15 minutes. Enjoy the LSU slideshow on the way out here because we've put together some great slides on the LSU. Love LSU's program and history and everything about LSU football. So get yourself out to a game and enjoy. Until next time, this is the college football experience. Go Tigers edition. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1. Let's get
1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the markets. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks. Logic cause leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallengeable and stiff. So arrange the pieces to prepare cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift. I'm taking a piss right now. It's like I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles taped. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pin. Of feet by the tree, they're the fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the head. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause it's easy goal and moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without heart. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without love. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without truth. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Conspiracy theories, gotta love them clearly. Nothing's more entertaining than entertaining a query. Just a word to the wise and the weary. Recognize the authors of reality and theory. Theoretically, I could have won Scribble Jam. In reality, I lost to a legend. Theoretically, I'm best friends with Uncle Sam. In reality, I've never even met him. Now, one day my potential may become reputation. Until then, I'm still a work in progress. I suggest you question what I'm saying. If anything, to become familiar with the process. My agenda may suit your needs. When I say your bill of rates has been ripped to shreds, but if it defends what you believe, hold dear to your truths and